My friend, if you are here today, reading these words, hearing them echo within the chambers of your soul, then I know one thing for certain: you have walked through pain. Not the kind of pain that bruises the skin and fades with time, but the pain that carves through the soul, the invisible scars left by broken promises, by betrayal, by your own silent self-doubt. Yes, I speak to the one who has been broken, fractured by life, disappointed by others, abandoned by dreams once held with trembling hope. But hear me now. Hear me with every ounce of conviction you can gather, for this truth shall set you free. You can learn to love yourself again. You must. And you will. There is a power dormant within you, not destroyed by your suffering, but merely veiled, awaiting the call of your will. It lies not in the applause of others, nor in the memories of what once was. It lies in this very moment, where choice resides and faith breathes. When we are broken, the world teaches to shrink. We retreat inward. We believe the lie that we are no longer worthy of love, of laughter, of significance. The mirror becomes an enemy. Our thoughts turn into tormentors. We replay the failures and the rejections until they become our gospel. But let me challenge that inner dialogue. Let me speak directly to the wounded parts of your being. You are not what happened to you. You are not the sum of your mistakes. You are not the opinion of those who could not see your worth. You are potential itself. What you call brokenness is but the evidence of a deep sensitivity to life, a heart that dared to care, to believe, to feel deeply. And while the fall may have shattered your confidence, it did not steal your capacity to rise again. I implore you now, see yourself not as a ruin, but as a vessel being remade. Gold is purified by fire. Diamonds are forged beneath immense pressure. So too is character, true, enduring character, sculpted in the furnace of adversity. Loving yourself after being broken is not about affirmations alone. It is a deliberate act of rebuilding. It begins with one small decision to believe that you are worthy, even if the evidence of your past argues otherwise. Your mind is the battleground. Feed it not with the residue of despair, but with visions of who you are becoming. Speak life into your soul. You may say, "But I don't feel it." Of course you don't. Feelings follow belief, not the other way around. You must act before the emotions align. You must take the first step when your legs still tremble. That is the law of growth. That is how power is reclaimed. Each morning, stand before the mirror, not to judge, but to affirm. Look into your own eyes. Say with firmness, "I am still here. I am still capable. I am still valuable." I do not whisper it. Declare it. With authority, with reverence. Because you are addressing the most important person you will ever meet, yourself. And then, prove it. Not to the world, but to your own spirit. Prove that you are worth loving by the way you treat yourself. Care for your body. Speak kindness to your mind. Surround yourself with people and environments that reflect the light you seek, not the shadows you fear. Reject the belief that you must earn love through perfection. Love is your birthright. You do not need to justify your worth. You are enough. Not because you have done everything right, but because you are still trying, still learning, still growing. Let go of comparison. It is poison to the soul. No one else walks your path. No one else carries your scars. Your journey is your own, and it is sacred. Stop measuring your healing by how quickly you smile again, or how well you function in public. Healing is not linear. Some days you will feel strong. Others you will ache. This is not weakness. It is the very evidence that you are alive and still fighting. Hold fast to that fight. You must understand, the opinions of others are not the architect of your value. Many have spoken carelessly. Some have spoken cruelly. But their words, no matter how loud, do not define your truth. Forgive yourself. Not because you were wrong to care, but because you are human and worthy of compassion. Release the guilt that was never yours to carry. There is no shame in being broken. The only shame lies in choosing to remain, so when the tools to rebuild stand within your reach, and those tools are yours. Vision, persistence, faith. Hold a vision of who you wish to become. Not a mask, not an imitation of someone else's success, but a vivid portrait of your truest, most whole self. Persist even when your strength wanes, especially then. For greatness is not birthed in comfort, but in grit, in the determination to take one more step even when the path is steep and unlit. And most of all, faith. Faith not in something outside of yourself, but in the quiet knowing that you were made for more. That the very breath in your lungs is proof of unfinished purpose. Yes, your heart was broken, but do not mourn it as the end. See it instead as the opening through which light now enters. Every pain you've endured has deepened your empathy, sharpened your wisdom, and stretched your capacity to love. The world needs what you now carrying, the understanding that comes only through experience, the insight born of healing, the courage shaped by survival. And do not forget, healing is not a return to who you were. It is an evolution into someone new, someone wiser, stronger, kinder. So speak to your soul as you would a dear friend, reminded of its power. Tend to it with gentleness. You are not broken. You are being remade. You are under construction, not demolition. Every act of self-respect, every moment of grace you show yourself, every boundary you reinforce, becomes a brick in the rebuilding of your self-love. And though the house may not yet be finished, though you may still see the dust of past battles in your soul's corners, remembered even cathedrals were built stone by stone. You are the architect now, and the materials of your restoration are already in your hands. You must not wait for permission to begin. You must not wait for the past to release you. It is you who must release it. With a breath, with a choice, with a vow that from this moment forward, you will treat yourself with the love you once begged to receive. Let the past educate you, but never chain you. Let the memories visit, but never govern. This is your life, and you must take ownership of it. To love yourself again is to say, I am not what they did to me. I am not what I lost. I am what I decide to become today. Then let us go further. Let us not stop at the edge of inspiration, but go deeper into the soul's workshop where transformation is forged, not by chance, but by design. You see, the mind, when properly directed, is the most powerful tool known to man. And when that mind is under the control of a will that refuses to surrender, it becomes an unstoppable force. You are in the business now of reconditioning your mind. And that is not a one-time act. It is a daily, deliberate discipline. Every morning when you rise, before the distractions of the world flood your mind, you must choose the thoughts that will guide your day. For thoughts are the architects of reality. Thoughts, when repeated, become beliefs. Beliefs, when acted upon, become identity. So, what shall you believe? Shall you believe the echo of voices that told you that you were not enough? Or shall you believe the quiet truth that has always been there, whispering beneath the noise, that you were made with purpose, that you were designed with greatness embedded in your DNA? You cannot serve two masters. If you continue to feed the belief that you are broken beyond repair, then every action you take will reflect that belief. You will settle for less. You will shrink from opportunity. You will sabotage joy. But if you begin, however slowly, to believe that you are healing, that you are evolving, that you are growing stronger through every challenge, then your behavior will begin to shift. You will walk taller. You will speak with more assurance. You will draw boundaries that once terrified you. And the world, my friend, will respond accordingly. The world does not give us what we desire. It gives us what we demand through our self-perception. Raise your self-perception, and the world has no choice but to rise to meet you. Now understand this, to love yourself again is not a passive sentiment. It is a form of spiritual warfare. You are reclaiming territory that has been stolen by fear, by shame, by manipulation, by moments when others could not see your light and chose to dim it rather than honor it. You must become a warrior of the heart. You must fight for your peace. You must defend your self-worth with the same fervor you once defended others who never earned your loyalty. And that begins with choice. Choose to forgive, not to let others off the hook, but to unhook yourself from their power. As long as you hold on to resentment, you are chained to the very pain you long to escape. Choose to release expectations that were never yours to carry. You are not here to please everyone. You are not here to meet standards written by those who do not walk your path. Choose to surround yourself with reminders of your beauty, your growth, your effort, Fill your space with words that uplift, sounds that heal, people who reflect the truth of who you are becoming. And choose, most of all, to take action. Self-love is not a feeling that descends from the heavens. It is earned through commitment to your own growth. It is expressed in the food you eat, the habits you keep, the way you speak your own name in your mind. Speak it with love. When was the last time you said your own name with reverence? Not as a placeholder in a conversation, not as an identifier on a form, but as a sacred declaration. Say it now, out loud, and feel it echo through your bones, because that name, that identity, it belongs to someone who has suffered and survived, who has broken and rebuilt, who is standing, even if barely, when the storm said they would not. There is honor in that. The world will tell you to seek validation. It will tempt you to find yourself in romance, in accolades, in possessions. But all these things are fleeting. They are sugar for the soul, momentarily sweet, but lacking nourishment. You need something deeper, and it can only come from within. You must become the one you've been waiting for. You must look into your own eyes and say, I will not abandon you again. You must treat yourself as sacred. And let me tell you this with absolute certainty, as you begin to love yourself again, something extraordinary happens. You stop begging. You stop begging for affection that feels hollow. You stop pleading for closure from those incapable of giving it. You stop shrinking yourself to fit into places your spirit has outgrown. You rise. You attract better, not because you chase it, but because you become it. You become a mirror for the very love you longed for. And suddenly, the world shifts. But beware, as you grow, the familiar voices of doubt may return. They will say, you've changed. And you must look them in the eye and say, yes, because I refuse to stay small. Your healing will make others uncomfortable. Let it. You are not responsible for their comfort. You are responsible for your own alignment. And if you must walk alone for a while to reclaim your soul, so be it. Better alone with peace than surrounded by noise that drowns your truth. Understand, you are not simply returning to who you were before the pain. No, that version of you was good, but incomplete. This version, this one that is emerging from the ashes, is forged in wisdom, courage, and clarity. You are not broken. You are becoming, and the process of becoming is sacred. It is not always pretty. It is not always understood, but it is necessary. So today, begin with one act of self-love. One choice that says, I matter. Maybe it's a walk under the sky. Maybe it's the decision to rest. Maybe it's the courage to say no. Maybe it's the first page of a journal where you write, not what others told you, but what you now believe about yourself. And let that belief grow. Water it daily with positive action, with disciplined thought, with courageous truth. You don't need to have all the answers. You only need the will to begin. And once you begin, keep going. Keep loving yourself in the quiet, in the chaos, in the stillness. Keep choosing yourself, even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard.
As you continue to walk this road, there will be moments of temptation to look back, moments when the weight of your past, the ghosts of your previous self, will call to you. They will try to convince you that the person you are becoming is an illusion, that the struggle is too great, that the victory too far. But, my friend, remember this: the past is not your prison. It is the forge in which your strength was hammered and shaped. Every scar, every heartbreak, every moment of loss has served to refine you. And it has made you stronger than you think. What you consider your brokenness, your flaws, your shortcomings, they are not weaknesses. They are the very evidence of your resilience. They show the world that you are alive, that you have endured, and that you are worthy of standing tall. So when those moments of doubt arise, when you feel the weight of the old narrative pulling at your soul, return to this truth. You are becoming something far greater than what you once were. You are not who you were yesterday. You are who you are today and who you are striving to become tomorrow. Do not let the past hold you captive. Let it empower you. Now, let us discuss the importance of your environment in this journey of self-love. You must be mindful of the people and energies that surround you. Like a garden, your mind and heart need nurturing. If you surround yourself with negativity, criticism, and toxic relationships, you will never be able to grow. You will remain shackled to the false belief that you are not enough. But when you cultivate an environment that supports your growth, when you choose to spend time with people who uplift you, who see the light within you even when you cannot see it yourself, that is when true transformation begins. Be intentional about the company you keep. Choose people who reflect the vision you hold for your life, people who see you not as you were, but as you are becoming. This may require difficult decisions. It may require you to distance yourself from certain relationships, even those that you once held dear. But remember, loving yourself is not selfish. It is necessary. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You must first be whole in yourself before you can give your love to others. And let me remind you of something else that often gets overlooked in this process, the importance of gratitude. You see, gratitude is not merely a polite gesture. It is a tool of transformation. It shifts your focus from what you have lost to what you still have. It helps you see the blessings that are often hidden beneath the surface of everyday life. Take time each day to reflect on the things for which you are grateful. Even in your pain, find something to appreciate. Maybe it is the fact that you woke up today. Maybe it is the support of a friend, a beautiful sunrise, a moment of quiet peace. Gratitude is like sunlight to the soul. It nourishes and strengthens. It is the antidote to despair and hopelessness. As you continue on this journey, do not forget the importance of self-discipline. Loving yourself again requires commitment. It requires that you show up for yourself every single day, even when the world seems against you, even when your own thoughts try to pull you back into the darkness. You must be disciplined in how you care for your mind, your body, and your spirit. This means eating nourishing food, exercising your body to keep it strong and vibrant, and feeding your mind with positive, empowering thoughts. This means reading books that inspire you, listening to voices that uplift you, and filling your time with activities that bring you peace and joy. You cannot expect your heart to heal if you continue to neglect the very tools that facilitate your well-being. Another powerful tool in this process is mindfulness. Learning to be present in each moment, to feel your emotions without judgment, and to release them when they no longer serve you is a vital step in loving yourself again. Too often, we live in the past, reliving old wounds, or we project ourselves into the future, filled with anxiety and fear. But true healing comes in the present moment, where you can acknowledge your feelings, honor them, and then let them go. By practicing mindfulness, you train yourself to be fully present in your own life, to truly feel the richness of each moment without being weighed down by the past or worried about the future. And as you do, you will discover that you are stronger than you realized. Your capacity for love, for joy, for peace will grow exponentially. But perhaps the most important aspect of loving yourself again is the willingness to embrace vulnerability. To love yourself means to accept your imperfections, your flaws, your scars, and your fears. It means letting go of the mask you've worn for so long, the mask that hides your true self, and allowing yourself to be seen for who you truly are. In this world, we are often taught to hide our vulnerabilities, to pretend that we are invulnerable, to put on a facade of perfection. But it is in our vulnerability that we find connection. It is in our imperfections that we find authenticity. When you allow yourself to be vulnerable, you give others permission to do the same, and in that openness, you find the deep love and acceptance you have been seeking. Loving yourself means accepting your flaws, not as something to be ashamed of, but as part of the beautiful mosaic that is your unique self. Every wound, every scar, Every imperfection tells the story of your journey. It tells the story of your strength, your courage, your resilience. And when you fully accept and embrace those parts of yourself, you unlock a love for yourself that is unshakable. As you continue this journey, know that there will be moments of doubt, moments when you question whether it's all worth it. But in those moments, remember this: you are not alone. You are part of something much greater than yourself, part of a universal force that is always guiding you toward your highest good. Even when you cannot see it, know that you are being supported by forces beyond your comprehension. Your journey of self-love will not be easy. There will be obstacles, there will be setbacks, and there will be times when you feel like giving up. But I ask you this: if not now, when? If not you, who? You are worthy of this journey. You are worthy of the love you seek. And every step you take toward healing, toward self-acceptance, is a victory. So keep going. Keep loving yourself even when it feels hard. Keep rising even when the world seems to push you down. Keep choosing yourself even when the path ahead is unclear. Because in the end, you will look back on this moment and realize that it was the moment that changed everything. You were never broken. You were simply being prepared for something greater. And now it is time for you to rise to the full measure of your potential. The next stage of this journey is the refinement of your habits. If you truly desire to love yourself again, it is not enough to simply feel better or think better about yourself. You must make yourself love visible through your actions. And actions, my friend, are the result of habits. The small, seemingly insignificant decisions you make every day determine your future. You must ask yourself this question: what daily habits are currently in place that reflect your sense of worth? Do you treat yourself with respect? Do you honor your body and your mind? Do you take time for your spirit? If your answer is no, or even if it's a hesitant yes, then it is time to build new habits, ones that will reinforce your love for yourself. Begin with your morning routine. It may seem like a small thing, but how you begin your day is a reflection of how you view yourself. Do you roll out of bed in a rush, barely taking time to acknowledge the gift of another day? Or do you rise with intention, grateful for the opportunity to take on the world once more? A morning routine rooted in self-love is one that sets the tone for the rest of your day. Start with gratitude. Take a few moments to reflect on what you are thankful for. Not just the big things, but the small things. Your breath, your health, the warmth of the sun, the love of those who care for you. Gratitude is the soil from which the seeds of self-love grow. It shifts your perspective and fills your heart with abundance. Next, nurture your body. Treat it as the sacred vessel it is. You do not need to subscribe to extreme measures of fitness or diet to honor your body. Simply give it what it needs to thrive: good nutrition, movement, rest. A body that is cared for and loved will become the foundation from which all other aspects of your life are built. As you go about your day, be intentional with the words you speak, both to others and to yourself. Words have power. They are spells that shape reality. And when you speak kindly to yourself, when you affirm your worth and capabilities, you are laying the groundwork for lasting change. Choose words that reflect the love you wish to see in the world. But it is not enough to simply speak kindly to yourself. You must also protect your mental space. This is where boundaries come into play. To love yourself means to set boundaries that safeguard your peace, your time, and your energy. You are not obligated to say yes to everything, to give your time to every person who demands it. You are allowed to say no when something doesn't align with your values or your well-being. When you begin setting healthy boundaries, you are teaching yourself that your time, your energy, and your peace are precious. You are teaching yourself that your needs matter, that your well-being is not negotiable. It is one of the clearest acts of self-love you can offer to yourself. But perhaps the most profound habit you can cultivate is the habit of forgiveness. And this starts with forgiving yourself. So often, we are our own harshest critics. We carry guilt, shame, and regret like a heavy burden, believing that if we are hard enough on ourselves, we will somehow be redeemed. But the truth is, self-punishment only perpetuates the cycle of pain. It never heals. Forgiveness is the antidote to the toxicity of guilt. And the first step toward forgiveness is the realization that you are human, you make mistakes, you are not perfect, nor were you ever meant to be. You are evolving, learning, and growing with every breath. Embrace that. Forgiving yourself does not mean excusing your mistakes or forgetting them. It means letting go of the emotional weight that has been holding you captive. It means recognizing that you are worthy of peace, no matter what has happened in your past. Once you have forgiven yourself, you will find it easier to forgive others. Holding on to grudges and resentment keeps you tied to the past, trapped in cycles of anger and hurt. But when you forgive, you set yourself free, you reclaim your power, you step out of the shadows and into the light of your own healing. And as you move forward, keep in mind that this journey of self-love is not linear. There will be times when you feel like you have made great strides, only to be met with setbacks. You may find yourself facing moments of doubt or struggling with old habits that no longer serve you. These are not signs that you are failing, they are simply reminders that you are human. The key is not in avoiding these moments, but in how you respond to them. In those moments of struggle, remind yourself that you are enough. Remind yourself that every setback is simply a lesson, a chance to grow, a challenge to rise once again. You are not defined by your mistakes. You are defined by your resilience, by your ability to keep going, to keep loving, and to keep striving for the life you deserve. Another aspect of this journey is understanding the importance of your mental health. To truly love yourself, you must take care of your mind. This means confronting the negative self-talk that has been embedded in your consciousness for far too long. You must challenge the lies that tell you that you are not worthy, that you are not capable, that you are not enough. Start by noticing when these negative thoughts arise. Become aware of the internal dialogue that holds you back. And then challenge those thoughts. Replace them with truths that affirm your worth. For example, when you think, "I am not good enough," counter that thought with, "I am enough just as I am." When you think, "I will never be able to do this," counter that with, "I am capable, and I have overcome challenges before." Over time, you will retrain your mind to think in a way that supports your growth. Your self-belief will strengthen, and the negative thoughts that once controlled you will no longer have the same power. But even in the midst of your growth, there is one essential truth that must always remain. You are worthy of love, exactly as you are right now in this moment. There is nothing you need to prove. There is no perfection required. You are already whole, and this, my friend, is the beauty of this journey. The more you love yourself, the more you realize that you were never broken in the first place. You were simply a diamond in the rough, waiting for the right conditions to shine. Every step you take, every choice you make, every act of self-love is bringing you closer to the truest version of yourself. You are becoming the person you were always meant to be, and that person is deserving of all the love and happiness this world has to offer. However, to truly unlock this potential, you must learn to trust yourself. Trust that you have the wisdom to guide yourself through life's complexities. Trust that the answers you seek are already within you, waiting for the right moment to reveal themselves. Too often, we look to the outside world for validation, for direction, for answers. But the truth is, you are the best authority on your own life. No one else knows your heart as you do. Trusting yourself means embracing the knowing that comes from within, knowing your strengths, your limitations, and most importantly, your desires. It means having the courage to act in alignment with your inner truth. even when the world tries to pull you in different directions. And it means forgiving yourself when you falter, because the road to self-love is not without its missteps. There will be times when you feel uncertain, when doubt clouds your vision, and when fear attempts to grip your heart. These are the moments when self-trust becomes essential. Trust that you can navigate through the storm. Trust that you will find your way back to the light, no matter how long the darkness may seem. Trust that you are resilient enough to rise again after each fall. But how do you cultivate this trust? It begins with honoring your word. If you say you will do something, do it. If you promise to show up for yourself, do so with conviction. The more you honor your commitment, especially to yourself, the stronger your self-trust will become. Every small action that aligns with your values, every decision that supports your well-being, builds the foundation for a deep trust in your own abilities. In the moments when you are tempted to doubt, remind yourself of how far you have come. Recall the times when you were faced with obstacles, when you thought you couldn't go any further, and yet, here you are, still standing. Let that history of overcoming challenges be your proof that you can handle whatever comes your way. Another important aspect of this process is learning to embrace change. Loving yourself again means accepting that growth often comes with transformation, and transformation often means leaving behind what no longer serves you. This includes habits, environments, and even relationships that may have once been a source of comfort, but now hinder your progress. The process of letting go can be difficult, but it is necessary. You cannot carry everything with you on the road to self-love. There are times when you must shed old layers, release past versions of yourself, and step into new spaces that reflect your growth. And while this can feel uncomfortable, even painful, know that it is a sign of your evolution. Every change you make, whether it's saying goodbye to toxic relationships or adopting healthier habits, speaks to your commitment to becoming your best self. And let me say this, it is okay to outgrow people, places, and things. Your growth may not always be understood by those around you, and that is okay. Remember that you are on a unique journey, one that is meant to bring you into alignment with your highest potential. Not everyone will be able to follow you on that path, and not everyone needs to. The people who are meant to support you in your journey will find their way to you, just as you will find your way to them. In fact, the more you embrace your own growth, the more you begin to attract like-minded souls who align with your values and aspirations. The law of attraction is not a mere mystical concept. It is rooted in the truth that we draw to ourselves the energy we emit. As you elevate your own vibration, you will attract people, opportunities, and experiences that resonate with your new frequency. But I must emphasize that this process is not about perfection. It is not about being flawless or devoid of struggle. It is about recognizing your inherent worth despite the flaws, the imperfections, and the obstacles you face. It is about embracing the fullness of who you are, your light and your shadow, and learning to love yourself through it all. Each time you fall, remember that it is simply a step in the process. It is a chance to learn, to grow, and to rise again. You will encounter resistance. You will face challenges. You may even be tempted to give up, to return to old patterns that feel comfortable but no longer serve you. But I implore you, do not surrender. When you face resistance, remember that this is often where your greatest growth occurs. You are being tested, yes, but you are also being strengthened. Every challenge is an opportunity to prove to yourself that you are worthy of the life you are creating, that you are capable of overcoming whatever obstacles arise. Self-love is not a destination. It is a continual practice. It requires effort, patience, and intentionality. There will be moments when it feels as if the world is against you, but I assure you, the universe has already equipped you with everything you need to succeed. You are stronger, wiser, and more resilient than you realize, and you are worthy of the love you so freely give to others. As you continue on this path, Never forget that you are the creator of your own life. You are the author of your story. You have the power to rewrite any chapter that no longer serves you. Your past does not define you. It is simply the prologue to the incredible journey you are on. In moments of doubt, remember, you are exactly where you need to be. You are not behind, you are not lost. You are precisely on the path that will lead you to the best version of yourself. Trust that the journey you are on is unfolding perfectly, even when it doesn't look that way from the outside. Understand this, dear friend, every obstacle is not a wall, but a doorway, a gateway that leads you to greater understanding, greater compassion, and a deeper connection with your own heart. The tough moments are the ones that will teach you the most. They will reveal to you just how deep your capacity for love truly is, and how much you are capable of enduring.